Barcelona have just defeated Alaves 3-1 at the Camp Nou. It was a win that would mark 126 years of the club's existence and the return to the starting lineup of some important players for the team. Now, while this turned out to be a comfortable victory in the end, there were a few tactical discoveries that could genuinely restore Barcelona to their brilliant best. In this video, I'm going to be breaking it all down, and to start off, I want us to look at the lineups and formations on the night. Now, Barcelona started in the usual 4-2-3-1 while Alaves started in a 4-5-1 formation, meaning they intended to play in a low block while defending, but would overload the attacking areas from midfield to win the ball back and then try to hit us on the counter. Now, this worked right off the bat because in the first minute, they win a corner from which Ibanez scores the first goal on the night. Now, look when the corner is played. Marc Casado makes the first mistake with a poor clearance that falls kindly to Victor Parada, who is most alive to it. He puts it back into the danger area, and Barcelona's defense, not for the first time this season, are caught ball watching. Marc Casado is keeping Pablo Ibanez onside. He gets in front of the goalkeeper, easy as you like, 1-0. Again, is Barcelona's defense being unable to defend in the simplest of situations that put us behind. Now, to explain this phase, I want to use these two players. And I know you might be asking, what do these two guys have to do with each other? Well, it's one simple answer: balance. Now, guys, as you know, balance is something that Barcelona have struggled with for long stretches of this season, mainly down to the injuries to several first-team players. We've been forced to play a lot of players out of position in different areas on the pitch. So today, with the absence of Frenkie de Jong and Pedri from the starting lineup, it looked like it was going to be more of the same. But that's where the inclusion of these two players gave us a way out. Now, let's start with Raphinha, and there's no better way to do this than with the equaliser in the 8th minute. Now, look where Alaves tried to overload the midfield in an attempt to win the ball back. Lamine Yamal recognises this, so he quickly begins the switch with a ball to Olmo. Olmo then lays it down to Bernal, who goes to Gerard Martín. Martín to Balde. Now, look when Balde gets possession. Who's running in behind? It's Raphinha. And this is what we've missed in recent games. It's the running behind and into the space to stretch the defense and create spaces in the middle that's so important to the way Hansi Flick wants this team to play. Raphinha drags the defense along with him, so when the cutback is played, look at the space in behind. Both Lewandowski and Olmo miss, but Lamine is coming in behind. He has all the time and space to let the goalkeeper make a choice, and he has the intelligence and the technique to find the roof of the net. No chance of saving that at all. Barcelona are back in the game. Now let's bring in the second character, Gerard Martín. Guys, ever since the unexpected exit from the club of Inigo Martinez, Barcelona have struggled to find a replacement for him in the left side of central defense. Well, I think we may have found a fix, at least for the time being. You see, when you play a left-footed player in the left centre-back position, you place them in a natural position to be able to use their left foot, which is something that is really crucial to Barcelona's ability to play out of the back. Now, let's demonstrate this. How about this for the second goal? As soon as Gerard Martín receives the ball, look at Raphinha again attacking the space in behind. This is intelligence. You have to understand what is required of you as the forward and how to stretch the opposition's backline. But even more importantly, Gerard Martín doesn't need to adjust his body because he's left-footed. He plays that ball over the top straight away, finding Raphinha. Now, because this run from Raphinha had stretched the defense, Dani Olmo is left unmarked in the middle. Raphinha recognises this, cuts it back for Olmo, and it's a brilliant strike from Dani Olmo. Measured, hard and low. Again, leaving the goalkeeper with no chance at all. Guys, this is Barcelona at their attacking best. Brilliant one-touch football that we saw from last season, and we are starting to see it again. The combination of Gerard Martín, Balde and Raphinha, all left-footed players out on the left wing, meant that Barcelona was just as dangerous on the left as we were on the right, making it difficult for Alaves to focus on one particular area, something we lacked particularly against Chelsea, which made us predictable and allowed Cucurella to shut down Lamine Yamal for much of the game. And guys, from this point forward, Barcelona were in control. Now guys, coming into the second half, it seemed a bit like Barcelona took their foot off the gas. Being a goal up allowed the team to play with less pressure, and I think Hansi Flick did the right thing in the 60th minute, taking Raphinha off to give him some rest, and then bringing on Pedri, which further strengthened our control in midfield. We dictated the pace of the game, forcing Alaves lower and lower with each passage of play. However, in the 80th minute with these two substitutions, Eduardo Coudet instructed his team to go into a 4-4-2 in an attempt to start a comeback. If Barcelona weren't going to go for a third, Alaves would go for a second. And it was exactly the quest for the equaliser that put the final nail in Alaves' coffin, because in the 93rd minute against the run of play, Barcelona got a third. Now look when Carlos Vicente gives the ball away. Again, because of the overload from Alaves in midfield, it leaves acres of space behind. Dani Olmo is alive to the loose ball, immediately latches onto it and lays the ball out wide to Lamine Yamal. But what Lamine does here is so impressive. It's the intelligence, the maturity to find Olmo with the return pass in behind the defence. Dani Olmo does really well this time on his left foot, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Barcelona are 3-1 up. Game over. Now guys, it's been a while I did an honourable mentions list, but I think this game deserves one. And the number one on the list is none other than Joan Garcia. Guys, I'm sure you would all agree that if this save doesn't happen, this game might have ended up in a different outcome. And this is what we've been lacking with Szczesny in goal. It seemed as though Barcelona concede with every opportunity. We lack those moments in the game when you need your goalkeeper to keep you in the fight. Well, Joan Garcia did this on the night. First on this spectacular save in the first half to keep the game level. And then even when Balde's trailing foot kept Guridi onside for his chance in the 84th minute, Joan Garcia makes another big save to keep us in front. This is what being a Barcelona goalkeeper is all about. This guy has to be our most important signing of the season, and he's only 24. Now for my next honourable mention on the night, of course, it's Lamine Yamal. Guys, you saw the goal for the equaliser and the assist to Dani Olmo for the third. Lamine Yamal was a threat all game long. Brilliant touches, dazzling runs and some chances that only missed by a few inches. This is the Lamine that we want. And to be fair, I try not to be too critical of this guy, even in bad games, because let's face it, it shouldn't be up to an 18-year-old to carry a team like Barcelona. He should be developing and not carrying the club. No player in the history of this club has ever been burdened with such responsibility, especially in the face of all our financial problems. We need to appreciate and support Lamine, and the club needs to protect and guide his development so he can reach his full potential. Now, my third and final mention, a man that has been criticised a lot this season for his inconsistencies in performance, Dani Olmo. Getting 2 important goals on the night, what more could you ask? He slotted perfectly into Firmino's role and proved decisive on the night. Now, I don't think Olmo is back to his best. Far from it actually. He's still a bit sloppy in possession and his physical fitness doesn't look convincing still. However, on the night, he did deliver when it mattered. So I think it is fair to have him on the list with hopes that this performance was an important first step in rediscovering his form from last season. Now, one thing I also wanted to touch on was the absence of these two players. Now, I find it a strange coincidence that I missed all of the criticism following the Chelsea game. 2 of our captains did not show up for the press conference and just happened to miss this game. One had a stomach bug, the other for undisclosed personal reasons. Now, while I'm in support of the well-being of the players, I also think that there are responsibilities that come with being a leader at a club like Barcelona. When we lost to Inter last season, Lamine Yamal put out a message to the fans. I expected some sort of communication from Frankie and Araujo as captains, especially seeing as Araujo's red card handicapped any chance of a comeback on the night. But I don't want to jump into any conclusions yet, so I will wait for more updates as the stories develop, but I just felt it was something to keep an eye on. And if you know something that I don't, feel free to let me know in the comments. And of course, as always, I will be back here in midweek breaking down the game against Atletico, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you stay up to date on all that's happening here. Once again, big thank you to everyone for your support. See you soon guys, and Visca El Barca.